Lo, there do I see my father. Lo, there do I see my mother.
And my sisters and my brothers. Lo, there do I see the line of my people, back to the beginning.
Lo, they do call to me. They bid me take my place among them.
In the halls of Valhalla, where the brave may live forever.
These are the voyages of the starship Ragnar. Her mission to explore the Shackleton expanse for new friends and allies, and to fearlessly peer into that final frontier.
All right, and welcome everyone to the much anticipated, not long overdue. That's kind of been my opener lately, the much anticipated but not long overdue, because we've been consistent in our sessions, which has been really nice. And I know the crew's been chomping at the bits to find out what happened to several of the NPCs, specifically one NPC, honestly, as I stumble over my words. But with that being said, as is tradition, we're just going to go around the table. We're just going to go around the table, have everyone introduce themselves, tell us who they're playing as we get ready to dive into Season 3, Episode 6, entitled Secret Society. So as is tradition as well, we're going to go Brian, Symbol, Sidereal Day, Chewbacca, Charles Warren. My friends, take it away.
Hello, I am Brian. I am known as Mind Over Brian on both Twitter and on Twitch, although on Twitch I spell it with a 0. And I am playing Captain Asbatreso, the Betazoid captain who has forsworn his telepathic gifts and whose ship is looking worse and worse every time we come to these sessions.
And I am Symbol 24. I play Lieutenant Alden Paris. Yeah, I come from the Great Paris line. So it's going to be fun. Let's do this.
Good evening. I'm Sidereal Day. I am Commander Ajay Shahira, the Bajoran First Officer and Chief Medical Officer.
I don't know how it works.
I guess it's
Made
my
up.
turn. Guess it's my turn. Hi, I'm Drew Baca, and I am playing the heartbroken and rage-filled Tellarite chief engineer who will reach into the ether of the multiverse to strangle Wolf himself. I will not have to do anything. Krev himself will come from fiction to do it because he is that mad.
And I'm Charles Warren. I am playing the much anticipated but not overdue Ensign Zed, our Ferengi Chief of Security and Operations Officer.
That was actually well done, Charles.
Thank you.
You may have one momentum for that comment. That was good. You may have one momentum. Yes, that was funny. I like where your mind's at. That was good. Of course, I'm Darewolf. Just you caught me off guard, Charles.
Yeah.
I'm Darewolf. I'm the game master. I'm here to run this story, but we're gonna have an opening log, and the reason I was kind of out of it is that I actually picked up some opening log music. I found a nice little royalty-free thing. We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see what it sounds like. If the vibe doesn't pass the vibe check, it's okay. We're gonna deal with it. But let's dive right into it, Charles. Take it away, Zed.
All right.
swelled right as you got to the end there, almost like I planned it. I felt pretty good about that. That was good. That was good. You may have 2 momentum for that delightful, very passionate opening log. So we open our first scene. We open our first scene with a image of just the vastness of space. You see a multitude of twinkling stars, perhaps planetoids, just a shot of space. And as the camera pans up, we see the Ragnar, lights flickering all around. The purple glow from the nacelles is dimmed, sort of flickering and fluttering. And we see several what look like little kind of like smoking, almost like little fires around the ship, as it were. Nearby, as we pan up and over the Ragnar, we see the name of the ship, its designation. We see a Klingon vessel, also in similar shape, fires, damage, but we can see that it is likely under the process of being repaired. As we zoom down towards the vessel, we get very, very close to deck 1, and we can actually see the exterior of the view screen. As we look inside of the vessel, we see captain, we see his first officer, we see several of the bridge crew lying on the floor, likely knocked to the ground when this explosion rocked the vessel. As they start to slowly rise to their feet, we can see that there are panels down, wiring. It's the classic, the bridge has fallen apart kind of scene that you see in a lot of these episodes, a lot of these series. And we hear a voice. We hear a voice as though it is observing what is taking place and commenting on it. I do. Do you think we have gone too far in this experiment? Voice responds, another voice, different, almost croaking as it speaks. Ridak, I do not think we have gone too far. I think these ones must be tested. They touched the outer space, the area beyond the Great Ring. We must see if they are worthy, if they are to be included in the society. The other voice responds, Indeed, but I fear that we have gone above and beyond what is required to test their fortitude. Loss is something that these creatures do not handle well. As we zoom in to the bridge, we see the captain. You're the first one to begin to regain consciousness, and you see several of your crew knocked to the ground, some still unconscious. And I'm curious, Captain, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Well, presuming that the helmsman is on the ground in front of me, then he'll be the first person I'll try and help up. And I'll be calling for a damage report. Although I'll assume.
As you call for a damage report, Karev, you are on the ground as well, on the floor. You can hear the alarm bells going off, this kind of beeping, this ever-present just kind of damage alarm that you're hearing just over and over again. Just over and over again at your console, and perhaps almost instinctually, you feel your hand go up, mash a button, and you awaken and you hear the captain over the sounds of the computers, sparking, cords down, electrical pieces down. You hear the sparking, you hear the groaning of folks trying to get up. What do you do, Krav?
What did you say, Cap?
Damage report.
Damage. Oh shit. I get a damage assessment.
Give me a insight and engineering, difficulty of 4.
Okay. I have a focus of damage control.
Yep, that'll work.
So before I start, I have quick survey, which lets me ask a question.
Yep.
As if I did the obtain information momentum spend. I can't use any electronics or anything, but just knowing the ship, can I think of anything like what do I think would be the easiest thing for us to fix for me to be able to fix right now?
So
that would do us the most good.
I think this is actually a great way to describe the way you do this is you actually look across your left as you stand up, you look across and there is that large side profile of the Ragnar that is on that screen behind where the captain sits and right behind weapons, as it were, where Ensign Zed is stationed. And as you look back, you can see that there are several spots denoting different locations, different sections of the vessel that are blacked out, likely meaning that they have no power, there's no data or information coming from them. The one that stands out to you first is actually main life support. It's functioning currently at about 10%, and that's likely the one that would be the most important and perhaps even the easiest to fix at this point.
Okay. First impressions, life support at 10%. Crept engineering crews, go fix the life support. And then I'm gonna do my actual checks.
No response from engineering.
God damn it. Okay. I'm going to all right, so I have the focus of damage control, and then I have the talent of technical expertise. Whenever you attempt a task assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, you may reroll 1d20. So I would like to use that, and then I would like to spend a momentum on this.
Perfect. Go for it.
Yes.
So computers engineering for the.
Yes. Let's go Ragnar. Perfect. So, a couple of things stand out to you as you make this check, Lieutenant Commander Grev. The section of the ship where the cloaking device was housed, you are getting 0 readings from it, as well as several rooms that surrounded it. It is as though there is a missing chunk in the center of the ship. You see that there are emergency force fields that the ship automatically put into place, but you cannot get any readings from beyond those force fields. You note that communication across the ship is down, and you are not getting any reports from any emergency repair teams, security, nothing. It is almost as if the Ragnar's bridge is 95% cut off from the rest of the ship. It's like you're listening to or seeing, if you were hearing a conversation or trying to understand what's going on, it's like you're hearing it through a styrofoam cup with a string. It's not very easy to hear. All right, and you're only getting bits and pieces coming through.
Captain, I think we've been cut off from the rest of the ship. I can't get any comms into or out of the bridge. I'm not receiving any damage reports from anywhere else on the ship.
Tactical.
Ajay, if I may.
There's
Brian, forgive me.
And there's a hole, just a black hole of nothing at the cloaking device.
Commander Ajay, you awaken to hear this conversation going on, but you also hear another voice. It sounds close by. You do not recognize it. The voice it sounds like it's taking notes, like it is observing, collecting data. And you hear it go, as was predicted, yes, looking into operations, trying to assess damage. So predictable. I warned him that this would not do. as your eyes adjust and you look around, you don't see anyone other than the crew that is on the ship. You see that Lieutenant Paris is starting to awaken, Ensign Zed is starting to get up. Mini Minerva seems to be lying on her back, completely unconscious, not moving. Looks to have burn marks all over her face as well. But
Lieutenant Commander, I heard you correctly. We don't have contact with anyone else.
No contact in and out of the bridge. I'm going to attempt to locate the source of that problem. Okay, I'm going to use my... do we get any momentum back from that insight?
you did not. You just barely made it. It was a
It
difficulty
was 4?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, then I'm going to try, I'm going to use my talent of I know my ship. It lets me add a bonus d20.
As you go to interact with your console, Commander Ajay, you feel a presence walk in front of you. It's almost as though there was something invisible. You could feel like the wind move, like the air around you moves. It's almost like you're standing by the freeway and you feel a car go by. If your eyes were closed, you can still feel that kind of wind pressure. You feel something go by you. Lieutenant Commander Krev, a second later, after that sensation that Commander Ajay has, your console shorts out. You have no power to it anymore.
The second it goes out, Krev punches it, shatters the screen, and rushes off to the next closest console. He rushes off back here and goes right back to it.
Console shorts out again.
Lieutenant Commander,
What's up, Doc?
I understand you don't necessarily believe in this, but there's something affecting the ship right now, physically.
Another voice, distant, as though you were
Explain.
As though you were hearing it, Commander Ajay, as though you were suffering like you just got punched really hard and you're in a daze. And if your ears, you ever had like a really bad ear infection, everything sounds like it's like you've got your hands over your ears. You're hearing this voice, and it says, Lux, Ido, they are aware of our presence. Your experiment will not be accurate if they are aware of our presence. Deal with that one. Of course, sir. I will make it so.
Next time you go to the next console, I think you might be able to stop them, whatever they are. Move to the next console, Lieutenant Commander, and be ready for whatever they do. You might be able to stop them. I think I felt one move past.
As you mentioned you felt one move past, Commander Ajay, I need you to give me a security medicine difficulty of 2.
You gotta pick attribute and then discipline. Security medicine
it can't be
doesn't-
security medicine.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Fitness medicine was what
There
I
you
was
go.
trying to say.
That's kind of what I thought
Fitness
you meant.
medicine. Sorry, it's my first time. I've never played this game.
That's it's your first day, so
No, we'll forgive
we're
you.
still learning.
I'm
I'm gonna use a momentum to roll a third
That's fair.
d20.
Yeah. Do it up. By the way, I just want to say I'm proud of us because we're no longer asking if we can do it. We just declare we're doing it, and that's the best.
Cool.
Good.
That may have sounded sarcastic. It wasn't. I'm serious. I'm glad that nobody was like, "Can I spend momentum?" No, just do it all
Just
the
do
time.
it. Only took 26 episodes.
That's right.
Applicable focus. I'd like to argue for xenobiology. No.
Absolutely not.
Composure.
Sure. I'll allow it. Okay. You feel a slight pressure on your neck, though something was placed on it, and you feel yourself start to get very drowsy. You do retain your consciousness. You do remain conscious. Words are hard tonight. But you are no longer feeling that presence anymore. That sensation like someone is around. In fact, you're not feeling anything other than smell, sight, sound, taste of your own saliva, I suppose, and then touch. You're not getting any emotional feelings right now. It's as though that part of you has been slightly muted.
I'm going to check on Ensign Crusher, who was a...
Give me a insight and I see you symbol.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brian. Give me an insight, medicine, and symbol. What are you gonna say?
Might want to check Discord.
I do not have applicable focus.
You can absolutely do that symbol.
Hey, I don't know what the difficulty was, but 3 seems good.
Yeah, it was only a difficulty of 2.
Nice.
Minerva Crusher, she's not conscious, and you're not getting a pulse.
Doctor, I could use your help over here.
I'm coming, Captain. Medical tricorder to scan for what I can do.
And as you rush over, we watch as Paris pulls a phaser out, and I'm gonna have you give a. This is actually gonna be a control security.
Before that.
Yes. Okay. All right. All right.
Paris walks over to Zed and picks him up by the collar and lifts him up.
As you lift Zed up, I'd like him to have like a cut on one of his bulbous things here, and he's got kind of the dark blue-green blood coming down. He's
absolutely
still groggy coming to.
Zed, you might want to have a phaser in hand for this. And then
he looks not understanding, but he'll grab a hand phaser.
And takes out the phaser, presses a few buttons, and shoots a wide beam that pretty much hits everybody.
Yep.
Like in the room.
It's everybody in the room. I love that. And you know what? If you want to give me a momentum, we're just gonna let this work.
Yeah.
All right.
Lieutenant Paris, what are you doing?
You find for a split second, as that beam strikes the center of the room, you see the sort of like wispy outline of this strange kind of bluish looking alien with big eyes, long neck. It's wearing these brown robes with this golden frill. It looks over and it points at Paris. You see it has this strange device in its hand. Clicks a couple of buttons. Go ahead.
Can Zed shoot at it?
Absolutely can shoot at it.
All right.
Absolutely.
This shot will make or break Harris's career. Because in the middle of a medical emergency, he just shot me with a phaser.
Oh, and by the way,
and the doctor.
Nobody, when they're hit with the phaser, is affected.
So I don't
You're all
suppose.
like, what?
Oh, would this be control security?
Yes.
All right.
Oh boy.
You're still mad because I totally agree.
Normally it's a difficulty 2. Because of some of the bullshit that I have going on in the background, it's going to be a difficulty of 3.
Can I spend some momentum?
Spend it.
You weren't supposed to ask permission.
Just do it.
We just
yes.
We were doing so well.
That's right.
Doing so well.
All right. Let's see. Do we have 3 that I could spend?
Just one.
We only had 1.
We
we only have 1.
You'll have to give him 2 threat if you want to roll 4 dice.
Oh, tell what?
Just do it. Just do it.
Okay, all right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I spend that 2 threat plus 1 of my own to increase the difficulty to a 4. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have told you to do
You
it.
shouldn't have.
You're the captain.
Oh! So we watch as this creature is hurriedly pressing buttons on a device as Zed fires. Were you firing to stun, or were you firing to...
He'd have to give you a threat to be firing to kill.
It's true.
He didn't declare it ahead of time.
And Zed always uses stun.
All right. It hits the creature. There is a wavering sort of like it's almost like it's phasing into your reality, and then it collapses to the ground unconscious.
While the doctor is looking at Minnie, the captain stands up and is like, "What in blue blazes? Are we firing phasers?" Oh,
Excellent insight, Lieutenant Paris.
So when that happens, I look up and I'm like, I guess I can use this one then. And I start trying to I go back to trying to ascertain the comm blackout.
Commander Ajay, give me a insight and medicine to see if you can figure out what's going on with Minnie.
Triage?
Yeah, 100% triage would work.
What's my difficulty?
Difficulty is a 2.
Okay.
Good news, bad news. Which do you want first?
I'll take the bad news first.
Minnie's dead.
What?
She's dead, Jim.
How many of our NPCs are you killing right now?
A lot.
What's the good news, Wolf?
You're pretty sure that you can put her in stasis if you get her down to sickbay quickly enough, and you could probably resuscitate her.
She's only mostly dead.
Okay.
But mostly dead is also partially alive. But you've got like a couple minutes before her brain dies.
And we still don't have contact with anything, do we?
Working on it.
Lieutenant Commander Karev, are you trying to establish communication?
I am attempting to use my technical expertise to, no. I know my ship to determine the source of a technical problem.
Perfect. Go for it.
What am I rolling?
You're gonna roll a insight engineering difficulty of 2.
Can the ship help with a computer's engineering?
Not in this situation, it cannot.
Okay. What about comms engineering?
Nope.
Or sensors?
Perfect. No. Got him.
So that gives me a bonus d20.
Can I assist him by just yelling, "You could do it"? Good, because I probably wouldn't do that in the scene.
I'm going to use my focus of damage control.
Okay. That's totally fine. Yeah.
Hey.
2 momentum back, plus you succeed. So here's what you realize, Lieutenant Commander Krev. Something, is on the second bridge messing with everything. Every time you go to fix something, they unfix it. Every time you go to connect to something or contact someone, they cut the connection. There's literally basically another bridge crew that is actively trying to work against you.
All right. I will. Well, obviously we have to lock them out. Captain, there is someone on the secondary bridge is thwarting every attempt I make to fix our comms and our other systems.
God
I don't
damn,
know what's going on.
I told the admirals this was a terrible idea. Put 2 bridges on a ship that doesn't split. I would like to spend our 2 momentum to create an advantage. That advantage is, unlike the regular spec of this ship, I, being a transporter buff, have looped transporters to my command console, and that's not a thing you can touch from the bottom. So I use that to transport Minnie and the doctor to sickbay.
Ooh.
I was just about to ask if you could do that. That's what I was typing.
One-time use, create that advantage. You do have that one-time use thing per episode. All right, you know what? You can do it. You manage to route it directly to you, and Minnie and the doctor vanish, re-emerging in sickbay. Perfect.
Captain, permission for myself and Commander Krev to go down to the secondary bridge and take command of it from whoever's there.
If you can get off the bridge, you are welcome to try.
Yeah,
I think I can work something out. And he pulls out his special tricorder. Then he slings like an engineering kit over himself, and then pulls like 4 phasers from random spots that none of you had any idea that there were phasers. He's like covered in guns.
I don't believe that's
By the way,
regulation.
you guys should have 1 additional momentum because Vesper gave it to you. Just FYI.
Oh, thank you,
Oh, cool.
Vesper.
Thank
She
you.
did give a +5 to next player roll, which translates to momentum. So, good news. Go ahead.
Off we go.
Do we have like the Jeffrey tube things you could
So,
Yeah,
crumb down and stuff like
probably.
couple
Yeah.
things. There's an alien in the center of the
Well,
bridge.
there
I'm
is that
curious
too,
what you
yes.
guys are going to do about that. Paris, are you doing anything about
I'm
that?
Do we
gonna
have-
kick him. I'm gonna kick him on my way out.
Do we have like
Wait,
Paris is
Federation?
over him scanning him.
Okay.
Like, what the hell is this thing?
All right.
Do
Give
we
me
have
a
Federation manacles on the bridge?
Give me a reason, or excuse me. Give me a reason science, a difficulty of 2, Lieutenant Paris.
Kick.
Groans slightly, but it's still unconscious.
Would experimental physics?
You know what? Yes, in this case.
Oh,
Difficulty
Thank
of?
you.
2.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that momentum.
Voila.
There you go.
1 momentum back. Couple things you realize, Lieutenant Paris. This creature, though it looks to be made of flesh and blood, is not. It is comprised of... You have data on that space dragon that you guys ran into a while back. That is in the ship's computer, right? This thing is registering as similar to that space dragon, but it's basically like the similarities that like a baboon would have to a human being, or like a great ape has to. So they've probably at some point in the history of their evolution they were the same, but then they branched off.
divergent evolution.
Divergent evolution is what you're picking up. So that's what you know. You can share that information or keep it to yourself as you see fit.
I share it as such. Captain, this entity, although looks physical, is energy based. I don't even know if a containment field would keep him contained.
And as you say, I don't even know if a containment field would keep him contained. He turns into dust and vanishes before your eyes.
Well, shit.
Well, I'm glad I kicked him.
Zed looks at his phaser to make sure it wasn't on kill.
And
study that one.
the rest of those that were on the bridge are awoken. They're working diligently to try to put consoles back together. Check the captain. Captain, you got a couple cuts and scrapes, but I'd like to actually pivot down as Krev and Zed exit out and start crawling through Jeffrey's tubes. I'd actually like to pivot over to the sick bay. You arrive, my good doctor, in the sick bay. You arrive in the sick bay, and you get Minnie into a stasis field so that brain death doesn't settle in. But as that takes place, you hear the door behind you open, which is strange because when you arrived here, that door didn't seem to have any power to it, but it opens, and you watch as power, the medical bay was functioning on like secondary power probably at this point, but you look back and you see a strange face standing before you. It is a sort of yellowish brown looking alien. He has these brown robes with a cordage for a collar, and he is holding some sort of large, almost kind of looks like a tricorder, but he's holding it and he's scanning in your direction. And he does so in such a way that it doesn't seem like he knows you can see him. And he just kind of does one of these, then he walks over, scans the computer, moves over to Minnie, starts to scan her, puts in some notes.
She's in stasis?
She's
Have
in
I gotten her in
stasis,
stasis?
correct,
Okay.
yeah. Yep, scans her. Yes. Very interesting.
That means he's close to me.
That is correct.
I would like to jab him with a hypo spray.
Oh! Going for the kill. Going for the kill shot. All right, I like it. So you rush forward, grabbing a hypo spray.
I don't have to rush. He came to me.
Fill it with gasoline.
Rush at him, right? Go with a hypo spray. Go to hypo spray him, and your hand phases right through him. He looks down at your hand, looks up at you, and looks very surprised. Quickly punches a couple of buttons on his computer and phases out of your vision, and he is gone.
I really thought I had that one. Shade of bridge.
Lieutenant Commander Karev, you've managed to establish at least short-range communication amongst the bridge crew. You are doing it on a back channel that the other bridge likely doesn't know. I assume you have like a secret back channel. It seems like something Karev would do. I'm just gonna assume. You know what? I'm gonna foil my own plans.
I like that you just decided.
Because I just know you guys will do it anyway, so I'm just gonna foil my own plans. All right? That's how this works. Okay, so yeah, it goes through. You can contact everybody.
Bridge.
There's at least one more of those aliens running around.
I think it's safe to assume the ship is infested with them. Once we have tactical sensors, I'm hoping that we can establish some way of breaking their personal cloaks.
It's not just cloaking, Captain. I attempted to hypo one and phased right through them.
You know what? We'll discuss the attempting the hypo thing later. Okay, so they are immaterial as well?
At least to some extent. Not enough to fall through floors or anything, but... And of course I attempted to sedate him.
Again,
he's in
we'll
my
discuss
sick
that later.
bay.
All right, well, keep me apprised, Doctor.
Yes, sir. Ajay out.
There is a groaning and screeching sound, Ajay, as the doors to this side of the med bay, sick bay, are open, and you see Hagen step through. He looks kind of surprised to see you. Oh, Doctor, what the hell are you doing here? I thought I heard voices, and I was knocked unconscious. And is everything all right?
What's the status of the Klingons?
I've been unable to establish any contact with anyone. What's going on the bridge? How did you get here? Last I heard, you were up there, and you notice that he's holding something in his right hand, and he seems a little nervous.
Everyone knows the captain's a genius at transporters, Mr. Hagen.
True. He's definitely is a genius. That's true. One might even say the best. The very best. That is absolutely true, Doctor. Well, are you hurt, ma'am?
I'll live. What's this note? Do you have a status on anyone?
Yes, actually, I do. Dr. Shrosian is unconscious but stable in the other medical bay area.
Hey, Wolf, is Hagen coming any closer to me at all?
No, he's just standing in the doorway. But his right hand is slowly starting to raise up.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder what's in his hand.
It's a phaser.
Yeah, duh! I'm gonna duck as he brings it up.
And he has it pointed in your general direction. And,
yeah. I ducked.
His voice, as you duck behind that medical bay, his voice changes a little bit. Oh, Doctor. You are too intelligent, too smart for your own good, Doctor. You know, you actually remind me of my doctor, but a little less creative in this moment. You hear him kind of like jump to the left, Then jump to the right as you're probably dodging back and forth on the other side of the table, trying to stay low. Doctor, doctor, doctor. Just step out, doctor. Let's talk about this, doctor.
I think we can talk just fine from opposite sides of the room.
We can do this the easy way, doctor, or we can do this the hard way, doctor. And you hear the phaser start to charge, and he says, "Stick your head out, make this easy, or I will destroy the stasis field containing Minnie."
And what are my assurances that you won't do it as soon as you shoot me?
Nothing to be gained from doing it. I have you in custody.
I am going to tuck that hypo away and step out.
Turns the phaser on you and says, "Predictable." And he phasers you, knocking you unconscious.
Shocked!
And you fall unconscious. And you are unconscious. So that is a thing. We'll get back to that at a later time. But you get a chirp from the comm badge for the doctor. You get a chirp, and it's actually Nurse Hagen. And he sounds like regular Hagen now. Sounds frantic. Captain, anyone on the bridge?
The bridge here. What's going on, Hagen?
The aliens. They took the doctor. I don't know where they're taking her. I tried to stop them, but they phased away with her. I don't know what to do.
How did you get her comm badge?
They knocked it off of her when they took her. My comm badge wasn't working, so I used it. I'm sorry, Captain. Oh gods, what do I do? Is Paris okay?
Yeah, he's fine. If you're in, I assume you're in sickbay. Keep an eye on the patient. We'll see if we can track down. Alden and I have a plan.
Okay, Captain. You
but
got
keep
it.
This channel clear.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, perfect. So we're going to pivot back over. We're actually going to pivot over to a little bit of Theater of the Mind. So we're going to pivot over to this screen really quick, Theater of the Mind, where we see Ensign Zed and Commander Krev climbing through some Jeffries tubes. They're just climbing around. You could have used determination to ignore that stun. That is true, Vampire. But also, I just would have spent a bunch of threat and told her to go, shove it. So she just committed to the bit, as it were. But that's all right. So as we watch as you guys are climbing down Jeffries tubes, and where are you guys heading to? Where's the main direction you guys want to head off to?
First, Zed would like to stop by a weapons locker and get some stun grenades and maybe some small explosive packets, the kind that you attach on doors to blow them open.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
And then I'm assuming we're heading down to the secondary bridge.
Perfect. So you guys are making your way. As you're crawling through
your way downtown.
a Jeffries tube, you come to a T intersection where you look to the left and you see a strange kind of like almost frog-like creature wearing the same kind of robes that you saw on the bridge. He is currently placing some sort of device onto a power conduit, and he's like poking buttons on it. And then he takes some readings, does a couple more beeps, and then closes it, and then vanishes before your eyes.
Is the thing still on the power conduit?
Yes, it is. It's
I'm gonna go examine the thing on the power conduit.
So I'm gonna give this one to you for free. It appears to simply be a data transfer device. It's like if you've ever gone, like, you put like one of those cameras out so you can like take pictures of the deer. It's like that, but it's giving like real-time data on power, consumption, etc. And you notice that this particular conduit is one of the main conduits that goes directly to the warp core.
All right, I would like to hack this.
Ooh, go for it.
All right, what am I rolling?
That would be a control and engineering. This is alien technology. It's also alien technology, and you don't know what it is. But you do know your ship. I'm gonna make a difficulty 3.
And my focus of improvisation is going to work excellent for
It
this.
always works. I should ban that focus at some point.
You should.
I'm
but it's
improvising, right?
also-
So I can do it, right?
It's also so very, very Krev that you
Just kidding.
obviously can't take it away from
I
me.
can't take it away. That's true.
I'm going to use our final remaining momentum.
And can Zed assist? He has some
Yeah.
engineering experience.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, that seems bad.
That's bad. That's really bad, actually. Okay. So, Lieutenant Commander Krev, you start to fiddle around with it, and you're like, oh, this is pretty simple. This thing just goes, and there is an explosion as the thing seems to have some sort of like emergency backup, and it explodes in your face, throwing you back against the Jeffries tube, and you drop unconscious.
Oh, Zed was right there as well.
Yes.
Zed,
Zed,
it's okay if he
not
gets
dead,
hit too.
not
I'm
dead,
fine.
just unconscious.
Okay.
You are hit, but I'm gonna give you a fitness security difficulty of 2 to try to like jump out of the way, basically.
All right. Let's see. Do I have any focuses that would help? No. Unless emergency medicine. No. All right.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Fitness security, correct?
Fitness security, that is correct.
And we just used our last momentum. Is
You
that
did
correct?
indeed.
Yeah, sorry.
I love
Oh,
that
that's-
journey
that's-
for you.
That's okay. Let's see what happens.
You manage to jump
Ooh.
back away from it. And as you do so, you watch as Lieutenant Commander Krev disappears in front of you. Just vanishes.
Zed's gonna test his comm badge. Zed to Captain Traso.
Captain Traso, you hear Zed?
Chris, we're here.
We encountered an alien on deck, whatever deck we're on, attaching some sort of device to one of the conduits. It exploded, and Krev has now disappeared. He disappeared.
I'm sorry, Zed, repeat that?
He disappeared just as the alien disappeared on the. Well, not the same, because that would turn to dust. Correct, DeWolf?
That is correct.
Didn't turn to dust.
No,
Correct?
he just vanished.
He's vanished. I'm not
Like,
picking up
was
anywhere on the
disintegrated,
tricorder.
vanished?
No, he fell to the floor unconscious due to the explosion, and by the time I walked up to him, he simply disappeared.
Okay, well, the plan hasn't changed.
Yes, I thought you should know, Captain.
Thank you.
I'm continuing to the secondary bridge.
Keep me apprised. Bridge out.
Ensign
holy,
Zed. Go ahead, Captain.
holy. No, that's it. Just,
Holy
oh
crap.
God.
Oh God. No. Ensign Zed, you start crawling. And as you start crawling down
on the deck that we were on, Zed will quickly look this way and that. If he sees any other crew members, he's drafting them into his thing. But
you
I don't know.
Crawl down the Jeffries tube, and Ensign Zed, in this moment, you have the craziest sense of deja vu. Like, I'm talking, you are like, I have 100% been in this Jeffries tube. I've 100% watched Lieutenant Commander Krev disappear. And as you blink, we pivot back to the bridge of the Ragnar. We see the captain starting to awaken. We see Lieutenant Paris is unconscious. We see Ensign Minerva is unconscious. and Lieutenant Commander Karev is also unconscious. So everyone's unconscious. Literally, we find ourselves where we began this episode. You are coming to in this moment, and you can just in the back of your mind hear how many more iterations will we allow them. They are incompetent, they are incapable, and they are not who we are looking for. But you awaken, Ensign said, with this newfound information and this horrific sense of deja vu, like you have done this God only knows how many times.
But do I have any memory of those other times, or just a sense
Yes,
of deja vu?
you do. You do have a memory of what just transpired. But everything else, everyone else is back to where they were. Minerva is unconscious on the floor. Over there, we watch as the captain gets up.
Damage report, Krev.
Exactly. Karev, you get up, you start testing. You can see
Captain.
that things...
Captain, we've done this before. Lieutenant Paris, over here with your phaser. Wide angle beam this way. Captain, you're about to transport the doctor and Minnie to the sick bay.
Why? What?
What?
All right, Zed, slow down. You've taken a head injury. Doctor, he needs you to check on Zed, who has a jacket on his
I
head.
need to check on Miss Crusher first.
No, you don't understand. And he's going to fire a wide angle beam.
It just fires a wide angle beam. I love it. Yes.
Just like Lieutenant Paris.
Lieutenant Paris, you're probably in the process of getting ready to do what you're thinking. Go ahead, please.
Just a heads up. Lieutenant Paris didn't get up. He's still like crouched on the ground.
Yeah.
And he's fiddling with something.
He's fiddling. I love that.
So, the wide angle beam doesn't hit him.
Doesn't hit him. I love that. So you send out the wide angle beam again. This time, though, the only thing that happens is your captain looks really pissed off at you.
Right. I don't understand, Captain.
Mr. Zed, put the phaser down immediately.
He holsters it.
I'm checking on Minnie.
He says, Commander Ajay, aren't you hearing voices? Do you hear them? Can't you hear them?
What? Mr. Zed, what are you talking about?
All right, Zed, I'm going to need you to sit down.
Captain, there is another crew on the secondary bridge that are countermanding all of our orders, and that are every time we try to repair something, they sabotage our efforts.
You hear the
He's
slap
right,
on the,
Captain.
on the
There's something from the
console?
secondary bridge blocking our
Lieutenant
repair
Paris,
efforts.
You were going to say something.
Lieutenant Paris, sorry.
So you hear a slap on the console, and from the dispersal system on the roof, it showers little particles of what did I say?
Tachyons?
No.
No,
inverted
the
tetrions this time.
Yeah.
Inverted tetrions.
Yep.
So, and anything that would be out of phase.
Yep.
In theory.
Yep. So you actually see, once again, but this time standing next to Lieutenant Commander Krebs' station, as he was messing with things early on, you see him standing there with the device, and he's putting some information into it, as though it's about to, probably short it out again. And a moment later, Lieutenant Commander Krev, your console shorts out.
Krev is going to quick draw one of the phasers he has holstered near his console and shoot him.
And you fire at him. Give me a control security, difficulty 2.
Roll
I love where your mind's at.
security.
What in the hell is going on my bridge?
Sorry, Captain. This is going to be hard to understand, but we're stuck in. I won't
And
say
I have a
time
focus
loop.
of improvisation.
Fuck you. Sure. You improvise shooting the invisible alien crap. I'll give you this one. Good. You miss. The creature boop, 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 vanishes before you. Go Go for it. You want to give me your determination to re-roll?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Wait, what was it? It was fitness security?
You rolled control security.
Yeah, it should have been fitness.
Yeah.
Not sure if that would have changed anything. You did roll.
It would have made it worse.
Yeah. Buh. You fire your phaser. It dodges to the side, boop, 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 and disappears. Your console still shorts out.
Son of a bitch. Well, I run over to another one and start working on it.
Shorts
We
out.
all-
Shorts
we all
out.
saw that with
Shorts
the
out.
phaser.
Shorts
Yes.
out.
Captain, I need you to send Miss Crusher and me to sick bay.
Every single console on the bridge shorts out, but the captain manages to get back to his chair and do the emergency transport.
Just
And
very confusedly is like, oh, okay. How did you know about this?
Lieutenant Paris, you get another message. All right. And I just messaged it to you. You may respond as you see fit. We got a little sidetrack going on.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, and you said, how did you know this to Zed?
No,
He
no,
says-
no. I'm asking the doctor how she knew
Oh.
about my secret transporter in my command
Oh,
chair.
oh, yes. yes.
Oh, sorry. If it's secret, then she wouldn't say that. I assumed you would have told me that you had it. Since
Yeah,
I'm
you
your
know what? A second in command,
fir-
you probably know.
You know.
Yeah, I'm
I
your
like that.
first
All right, all right.
officer. I
Yeah.
assumed
All
you
right,
told
yeah.
me.
Cool. That makes sense.
All right. So yeah, Captain, the aliens, they've got us in a, I don't want to say time loop, but it's a time loop where we're redoing the same thing. Somehow they're the ones with the explosion. They can control technology. I've been trying to get through their phase.
It is control for phasers, so I did screw up. Forgive me.
Man, whatever.
Yep, immersion ruined. Game's canceled. Good game, everybody. We'll see you next
All right,
week.
everybody.
All right, see you next week.
I mean, it wouldn't have hit anyways, unfortunately.
It's true.
But
That's true.
Yeah, 16 wouldn't have
It
done.
would be plus 3 more.
Yeah, but
yeah.
a 16 is still too high.
yeah, it's still outside of.
The captain is like, okay, somebody tell me what is happening. all one person, please.
All right. We're stuck in a time loop orchestrated by aliens that are testing us. They're the ones controlling the things that are going wrong. Apparently, I remember at least one loop now, and I think Zed too.
Are they testing us to see how we will respond, or if we will recognize that we are in a test?
And testing us for what?
That's the thing I don't understand. They're not. The only thing I can hear from time to time is that we're not worthy, or we're not the ones they're looking for. But
Tactical, what's the status of the Klingon ship?
Do we have sensors?
You do have sensors
Mhm.
up this time, which is interesting.
And has it repaired by now, or
No, it
is
seems to be
moving?
in the same shape that you're in. It's almost like you guys are mirrored.
Yeah. The state of the Klingon ship appears to be identical to ours. They're in the same situation as we are, Captain.
And the Klingons on board?
By detecting
Detecting life signs,
Yes.
full ship complement, some injured,
mhm.
very, very identical to yours.
Mhm.
Mr. Pears, I noticed that whatever it is that you did caused them to be visible momentarily. Is there any way we can flood the ship with the same sort of?
I don't. It was a test of inverted tetrions. I have this vague memory of a log from the Enterprise where, anyways, that's what they use on them, but it doesn't seem to work fully on our aliens here. I need to research more.
So you think they're out of phase?
From what I'm understanding, yes, they're out of phase. They're also energy based, from the first, the last go around, we were able to stun one, and he seemed unconscious, and then when I scanned him, he was energy based, but then he turned to dust, as if he probably let the form go or something.
Well, I'll take any theories. Anybody. Krev, Zed.
Could the secondary bridge be their base of operations where they're conducting the tests from?
That seems like the first logical place to be. Yes.
But if it's a test, the point isn't going to be to find the testers.
It's to.
Perhaps
What
we
else do you
should-
remember from the last run through of this,
You
Mr.
and
Zed?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to me. Sorry, Commander.
Yeah, Zed will relay what he remembers.
As
it
Zed
looks-
relays what he remembers,
And you,
Mhm.
Mr. Paris, too.
here's where we're going to have the little bit of my experiment with this today's
Oh,
session.
oh,
All right, here's
okay.
where my experiment's happening. All right, so I'm trying something different. I like to try different things with this group, right?
Mhm.
Each of you will be allowed to ask me one question about something that has happened during one of the loops that your character in this moment remembers. Take a moment to think about what you want to ask. Zed, you have your memory, but you can ask an additional one. Paris, you remember from the last one as well. Take a moment to consider, what do you think would be helpful in this moment that you could remember from one of the loops that you've gone through. You need a few moments to think about it. It's fine.
Mhm.
Because what happens, as you guys are thinking, Commander Ajay, everything plays out. We get to the point right before Hagen is about to walk in, and you have this crazy deja vu that like someone's supposed to walk in, but no one does. So while everyone else is thinking, we're going to pivot over to the sickbay, where you are by yourself in the sickbay with Minerva in a stasis field. What would you have done, assuming that Hagen didn't show up?
I would have exited the room looking for someone to tell me what's going on with my sick bays.
Excellent. So you force yourself through the door, make your way. As you make your way over, you actually see Hagen sitting in your office at the computer, typing something. He looks up and looks very surprised to see you. Oh, Doctor, what are you doing here? You notice there is a phaser on the table to his right, just within hand's reach. You see his eyes dart to it, and
I
then
am
dart
going
back to
to
you.
stun him first.
Ooh! Oh no!
No.
That's hilarious.
Hopefully.
That's
It's
beautiful.
control, right?
So you're drawing a phaser and just shooting Hagen for no reason?
Well, I mean, I would like my memory back of Hagen
Oh,
shooting
Hagen, go
me.
down. That's fair. I think that's totally
Said
fair.
we got
Yeah.
to ask you
You're
one
true.
thing.
I'd
I
like to
figured
remember.
you should.
I'd like to remember Hagen shooting me. You remember
Yeah.
Hagen shooting you, and
Yeah,
you're able to draw
thanks.
your own phaser and phaser him. I'm just gonna let it happen. You phaser him, he goes eck and falls over unconscious. There's an unconscious Hagen. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh
Cool.
boy,
I'm gonna go restrain him and see what he was doing to my computer.
that is hilarious. All right, so you're gonna go over to the computer. Does anybody else have a question that they wanted to ask? Does anyone know what they were wanting to remember? Anyone else? Yes, correct.
Yes. I would like to know who is in the battle bridge.
Ooh, so during one of your loops, apparently you made it to the battle bridge, which I find fascinating. It was a very quick and very bloody fight. There were 5 Klingons on the battle bridge that were actively working like a crew, basically mirroring your bridge crew. They're working against you. You guys were quickly overpowered. They defeated you. Anyone else
Captain,
have questions? Go ahead, please.
I think it's Klingons in the on the battle bridge.
You're muted.
Seem to
muted,
have
Brian.
I have a memory of it.
So not, well, I mean aliens, but no more alien than me.
Not these aliens. Maybe we can.
How does a Klingon crew have such good knowledge of our?
I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe we disrupt life support
Flood the bridge with
to the battle bridge.
No, here's the thing. If this is a test, I doubt it's a tactical test. Why would aliens want to observe us having a tactical simulation? That seems needless. Zed.
Oh, that was to Der Wolf. I just thought of what I
Go
would
for
like
it.
to
What do you
remember.
got?
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, so could one of the things that Zed remembers be part of the conversation that Commander Ajay heard on where they were saying typical, they're assessing damage control, and all that stuff.
Absolutely. And I'm actually going to elaborate that the aliens are critiquing you on going to violence so quickly.
Right. Yeah. So
And
Zed's,
they speak about, they say a name. You're going to remember a name. Jormungandr was mistaken when he said these people, these beings, were worthy. He was mistaken. You hear the name Jormungandr.
right. Captain, I seem to remember some of the aliens talking to each other, and he'll
Violent,
relay that.
brutish.
Yeah, yes. It'll say, I think perhaps a way to pass this test is for us to respond in a different manner.
That makes sense, especially if they're making us repeat it every time we turn too violent.
Do you name drop?
Oh yeah. I told the whole thing. Jormungandr, everything. Yes.
Mr. Zed, what's the status of the Klingon ship?
The Klingon ship is still in the same state that it was. Much like us, they're damaged and they're attempting repairs.
Are they attempting repairs?
Here's what they are. You can see that every time maybe like your life support goes up 5%, their life support goes up 5%. It's like you're kind of mirroring one another.
Do we have communications?
You can.
Open a hailing frequency to the Klingon ship.
Hailing frequency open, Captain.
Klingon ship, this is Captain Asbatreso of the USS Ragnar. Do you require aid?
There is a moment. There is static. There is a response. This is Captain Jeko Vorov. We require no aid from you, Federation dog. As soon as our ship is repaired, you will be destroyed. For the glory of the Klingon Empire.
Well, before you destroy me, indulge me in this. Have you been experiencing strange phenomena aboard your ship?
Some silence. A little bit.
I only ask because we have been experiencing a strange phenomena over here, and we suspect we are being observed by an outside species who are judging us based on our actions. If you've been experiencing the same phenomena, we'd be happy to share our findings so that maybe you could get a better handle on what's going on over there.
Deliberation. You hear some arguments. You hear another voice. I told you I was feeling that I had done this before. Silence, dog. And back and forth, back and forth. How do we know this is not some sort of Federation trick to lull us into a trap?
Well, you have my assurances, but I imagine to you they're not worth much. I can power down our weapons, but honestly, it's just a communique. There's no danger to receiving it.
Acknowledged. Send your data package.
Mr. Paris.
Yes, sir. And I send over the data package.
And I do mean everything.
Ooh.
Everything is sent over.
There's a little bit of time. A little bit of time. Comms are still open. We have experienced what I believe the humans call deja vu. We are reliving experiences similar to what you have experienced, but we have been unable to figure out how to escape this loop.
One of my crewmen believes he heard the alien speaking about how our solutions previously have been brutish and primitive. So I suggest perhaps we help each other fix our ships and then part on friendly terms.
Preposterous.
Just this.
Our two empires are at war.
Indeed, but is it not honorable to aid a downed enemy rather than kill them in cold blood so that they may fight you again and you may gain honor?
Presence commands, difficulty of 2. That's good, man. That's good. That's good. I like that.
Can I use persuasion as a...
Absolutely.
No, we do not have any. I'm going to give you a threat, but I can roll 3 dice. Hey!
Get 2 momentum back. He responds, we accept this offer on the grounds that you retrieve your crew that are aboard our vessel.
There's a blink and then another blink, and then Treso's like, tactical, scan the Klingon ship again for Federation life signs.
5
Can't
life
get
signs aboard the Klingon ship that are registering as human, Ferengi, Bajoran, and then what is your race again, Rebecca?
He's a Tellarite.
Tellarite.
Tellarite, and Captain, you are Bajoran? No, wait, no.
Betazoid.
Betazoid. Yes.
In which case I propose an exchange, as it seems we suspect we have 5 Klingons aboard our ship.
And then there's like a blink, some thinking. Agreed.
All right, well, we'll lower our shields and you can beam them off, and then we'll beam our
Photons.
people off
No,
as well.
kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a trust thing.
It's a trust thing.
Yeah.
Very well, Captain. Trust.
Mr. Zed, lower the shields.
And as the shields start to lower, we're going to pivot back over to medical, where we've actually still had our screen on. So sorry for the folks at home, the immersion's ruined. But you moved over, Hagen's on the floor, and you move over and you start looking at Hagen was in the process of messing with several different medical records, several different crew members aboard the ship. He had changed a couple of the ensigns, a lot of different names of NPC crew members and things like that.
Just for shits and giggles, or what?
It looks like he was changing them to... It's as though he was modifying them so that when the person came in for their physical, there wouldn't be any red flags.
Oh, I don't like that at all. Can I find all the files he was messing with?
No. You can just see the last one that he was messing with. The last one he was messing with is Captain Treso.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Cool. Computer, initiate medical records lockdown.
Acknowledged. Medical records locked down.
No one has access without shoot, I know I gave Drew my made up
Your
yeah, my serial number.
SM 0917 -1010-ML.
Yeah. I'll rattle off my my code there.
In case you're wondering.
Oh, it's so fancy.
So as you are analyzing that data, we're going to pivot back over to the bridge where the exchange begins to take place. Are you using transporters, I assume, to transport the Klingons? Okay, perfect. So there's a moment, and there's the transport, and you get a message from transporter room 1, and the transporter operator sounds very confused. He says, "Sir, were you a part of that? Sir, were you a part of the away team? I thought you were on the bridge and they disappeared." All right, that's weird. That was really weird. They're gone. They're gone, sir. They're gone.
Paris, can you flood that area with the same reverse Tetrions?
Yes, sir.
And Zed, send a security crew down there.
A moment
Okay.
later, you transport the Klingons from the battle bridge away. However, I'm going to spend 3 threat. The Klingons, there is an error in the transport, and those 5 Klingons end up in the void of space.
Oh,
Well, we wouldn't have done the transporting. That would have been them.
Yeah.
They'd have transported themselves. So that can't be our fault.
Well, here's a problem.
they can still blame us.
The Klingon
Are gonna blame us.
starts
Sure,
to
yeah.
you hear there's an incoming communique. It is the captain of the Klingon vessel.
Yeah, put it on screen.
I was a fool to have trusted you, Captain. Deceit and lies. Deceit and lies. My crew
Captain,
has
you'll
been
notice-
transported into space.
Captain, you'll notice my shields are still down. Check the roster of your crew. You're not missing 5 crewmen.
Starts to scan. Starts to scan. Starts to think. Looks over. Now what then?
Well, again, I suggest that we repair our ships and leave to fight another day. And may you find glory in that battle.
He narrows his eyes and looks at you. You see his second in command is standing next to him. He looks like he's ready for a fight. His second in command goes to say something. The captain raises a hand. Complete your repairs. We shall complete ours. But next time we meet upon the field of battle, it will end in the death of you all. It will be a glorious death.
And may glory find you in Stovacor. Then.
And also with you. And then the communicates.
They're Catholics all of a sudden?
It felt right. That's all I know how to say when that happens. It's beautiful.
It
So we-
should have been kapla.
We watch, okay, and what would you, and then end communicate. There it is. So we do a kind of a montage of both ships repairing themselves. We see crews working, the crew of the Ragnar working, getting everything repaired. Commander Ajay, what do you do with Hagen?
Well, I tied him up
Okay.
and I call Zed for a security team.
There is a little chirp as you are tying him up. You see that he has a little data pad. There is a message from someone. It's not labeled. There's no name, but it says status report. What is happening down there?
Are there previous messages from?
Several messages. There is a message that says, "The doctor knows you're not the real Hagen." A response, "I'll deal with her. Get her to sickbay." Another message, "Leave them alone." Response, "Understood." Another response, "Let them take the doc." And another response, "Yes, my love." And then the last response is status.
She chooses not to respond.
Brilliant.
Yeah, look, there's no good way to respond. It's not a regular status check.
As the ship is getting ready to pretty much complete repairs, it's been several days as we've montaged these repairs. We hear that voice, the first two voices that we heard, as we see the exterior shot of the ship. Thoughts? Adu? Too many iterations for this crew. They need more time to marinate prior to the next steps. Another response. An astute observation. They came to the proper conclusion of what must be done, but it took them longer than I would have liked. I think that the dragon was right, that they have potential. They need more time. Agreed. We shall check back with them at a later date. And then I'd like to know, Captain, would you have gathered everyone together afterwards to discuss what transpired over these last several days?
Well, at the very least, I'd have put out a broadcast to the entire crew, being like, "Hey, nobody panic about the Klingon ship outside. We've come to an agreement. Everything's fine up here. We're all fine."
Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut to a scene. This is a few days after everything's gone on. There's been sections of the ship that were cut off from others. There's been, sections that had to be like repaired, reconnected, etc. And we cut to a scene in the emergency triage room, where Lieutenant Commander Krev, you've actually been helping bring some of the wounded, etc., into this room. And it's been a clusterfuck. It's been just, fixing stuff, repair crews, etc. And as you enter into this room, you look across the sea of injured. You recognize a familiar face. She is sitting up, and there's a nurse next to her who is giving her some sort of medication or whatnot. And she looks up, and her eyes catch yours, and yours catch hers. She waves at you. It's Bronson. But there's something different about the way she waves. There's something different about her expression. You notice she has a scar across her face she didn't have before. That, my friends, is where we're going to end today's session, on that little bit of a cliffhanger. Great job, everybody. And I hope you had fun. Symbol, I just want to say our secret messages on the side were super fun. Super, super fun. We've been having a secret message party. It's been great.
Nice.
Hashtag no spoilers. It's good. But it's good, guys. But Bronson's fine. She's totally fine. At least some version of Bronson's probably fine. We'll find out. We'll see what's going on. We'll see what's happening. But did you guys have fun? It was a little bit of a different sort of a. I hope the Groundhog's Day thing wasn't too silly.
No. That's
when I
really
thought
good.
about this episode, I thought about doing it once or twice, but then I realized that if we did it more than once, it would get kind of doldrum. So I figured I would have you guys in, X iterative of this experiment, right? And then this is the one where you start to have the breakthrough. But again, you can kind of do like you had this deja vu, this happened. Did it feel, it was a little gimmicky, but did it work? Did you guys have fun? Did it seem interesting? Thumbs up? Okay.
I was like,
I liked it.
I was like genuinely nervous through the whole thing. Like,
And
Good.
I
had some legit anxiety there.
Good.
I want to give kudos to our Captain Treso, because that negotiations with the Klingon at the end was perfect.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That was brilliant, man.
Zed is so proud to be serving.
So
under
proud.
Captain Treso.
I love it. I love it.
Special mention to Mimi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Play
yes.
Phaser first, ask questions second.
Oh, yes, that was awesome too. That
Look,
was really good,
the suspicion over fake Hagen has been rising steadily enough
It has
that
been. It has been.
Well,
And,
Symbol's quick thinking, or Paris's quick thinking, also.
We will
Excellent.
deal
It's an all
with
around
that.
good episode.
We will deal with that next week. And our opening log, I think next week is going to go to Commander Ajay. Commander Ajay, I think you've got some information that you might be holding close to the cuff right now because you don't know how many of the crew are perhaps different. You don't exactly know
she wouldn't tell
what's
me.
going on. Why would she
Because
say
she
anything?
might suspect.
She might
Oh,
suspect.
God damn it.
Oh, yay! It worked. Why she can't
That
trust the
makes sense.
captain? She can't trust the captain. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, all I'm gonna say is
A very upset Paris when he learns the news of Hagen not being Hagen and Hagen being in prison. Probably came running to the doctors asking questions.
Presuming that she even told anybody.
No, but
No, but I called Zed and had security come
Yeah.
take fake Hagen.
you
so
did. Fake Hagen's in the
Oh,
brig
so
right
we all
now.
know that fake Hagen's a fake.
Right.
Fake, yep.
yeah, I didn't hide that.
Must be heartbreaking. Must be heartbreaking for Lieutenant Paris to have married a fake.
Oh.
It's horrible. Horrible.
he's totally heartbroken.
Totally heartbroken. I hate it. All right. But as I always say at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns from the players before we get ready to wrap up today's episode?
I hate you.
I mean,
Oh,
I will help Drew murder you.
look! Bronson's not dead. She's right there.
Is
She's just
it-
got a big
Is
weird
she?
scar,
Is
and
she?
she's missing one of her eyes.
Stasis?
There was an explosion.
said
She went through some
You
stuff.
implied that it was not really.
I'm just messing with you. Don't be all uppity, crazy
And you
crew.
put Mimi in stasis, Doc, and now she's. You didn't even save her.
Minnie's fine. Minnie Minerva's fine. You resuscitate her. She's okay. That's implied. But as always at the end of every session, thank you so much. Thank you so much to the players for playing. Thank you so much to the viewers for viewing. Happy gaming, everybody. You will catch this fine, delightful crew, same game time, same game place next Tuesday, which is the last day of February. Super exciting for episode 7 of season 3. We're getting near the end. And I'm building towards something with the crew here. Some of you know what I'm building towards. Captain, I'll be talking to you in the DMs here shortly. Wait. Never mind. Happy gaming. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.